Hey, welcome back, math friends. Today we are looking at lesson 2.7. So at the top of your math notebook, write lesson 2.7, and we are looking at division of real numbers. Now, division of real numbers is pretty simple. You just have to remember the rules. Now, the rules for dividing, rules for division, this is important. When dividing positive and negative numbers, the rules for multiplication apply. So multiplication, division, same rules apply. If the signs are the same, negative divided by negative is going to equal a positive because the signs are the same. A positive divided by a positive is going to be positive, right? Okay. Negative divided by positive is going to be negative because the signs are different. And a positive divided by a negative is going to be negative because, again, the signs are different. So those are the same rules as multiplication. So, and write these down right here. If the signs of the two factors are the same, the quotient, right? The quotient, that's the answer when you divide, it's going to be positive. If the signs are different, the quotient will be negative. And we just covered that right there. Okay? Now here's the thing, another rule. You can't divide by 0. Nothing is divisible by 0. Something divided by 0 is undefined, doesn't exist, can't happen. It's like saying, oh, I'm going to take these 16 donuts and divide them amongst 0 people. Well, you can't. Okay, you can't. So, now let's talk about another rule when it comes to dividing. To divide the dividend by a non-zero divisor, because you can't divide by 0, you multiply by the reciprocal. Now, dividends and divisors, what? What is that? Well, right here, this diagram shows you, and write these down. The dividend, when you divide, that goes inside. So it's the dividend divided by the divisor. So 10 divided by 2. How many times does 2 go into 10? We know this. You rewrite it a different way when you use the division symbol, dividend divided by divisor. See how they kind of switched? But it's still 10 divided by 2. Or, in fraction form, the dividend is on top of the divisor. So dividend divided by divisor. So 10 divided by 2, 10 divided by 2, 10 divided by 2. You need to know all three of those methods for division. Now, again, going back to what this says, to divide the dividend by the divisor, you're going to multiply, what? Yes, you're going to multiply by the reciprocal of the divisor. What the heck is a reciprocal? Well, I'm about to tell you. A reciprocal is a number that when you multiply a number by its reciprocal, 1 is your answer. So, for example, 3. If you multiply 3, now first you have to change it into a fraction, make it 3 over 1. 3 multiplied by 1/3, well, you divide straight across, or multiply straight across, sorry. 3 times 1 is 3, 1 times 3 is 3, and 3 over 3 is 1. So a number's reciprocal is what you get when you multiply by the original number. So 3 times 1/3 is 1. Negative 3/8 multiplied by negative 8/3. You see what I did there? I just switched the bottom and top. That's the reciprocal of negative 3/8. Equals positive 24 over 24, which equals 1. So that's what a reciprocal is. If it's in fractional form, you just reverse the order. If it's 3/4, the reciprocal is 4/3. You just flip the fraction upside down, basically. Okay? So, again, to divide, you multiply by the reciprocal. Okay? So let's do this. We're going to divide these fractions. 5 divided by 1/2. Well, what does that mean? Well, we're going to change this to dividing by the reciprocal. So the reciprocal of the second number, the divisor. So this becomes 5 times 2 over 1. You see how I flipped that fraction upside down? I'm going to change this to a fraction. So 5 over 1 times 2 over 1. Well, I don't really need to do that because any number over 1 is just, that number. So this is, we'll multiply straight across anyway. 5 times 2 is 10. 1 times 1 is 1. And 10 over 1, 10 divided by 1 is just 10. So 5 divided by 1/2 is 10. And that makes sense because how many 1/2s are there in 5 whole things? Well, there's 10 halves. All right. With this next one, it's written in kind of a different form. -1/3 over 4. So that would be -1/3. I'll do this one in a different color. -1/3 divided by 4. Same problem, just written differently. Multiply by the reciprocal. So -1/3, that one stays the same, times, let's see, change that to a fraction. 4 over 1, the reciprocal is 1 over 4. And then we multiply straight across. Now it's a negative times a positive, so the answer is going to be negative. 1 times 1 is 1, and 3 times 4 is 12. So -1/3 divided by 4 is -1/12. Multiplying by the reciprocal. Let's try another one. Here we have -3/4 over -1/3. -3, I'm going to change colors of that again. -3/4 divided by -1/3. Okay, and change that to multiplying by the reciprocal. -3/4 times -3 over 1. I just flip that second fraction, leave the first one alone, and then I multiply straight across. Now negative times negative is positive, so my answer is going to be positive. And 3 times 3 is 9, and 4 times 1 is 4. 9/4. Now that's a perfectly good fraction. I like that. If you really want to if you wanted to change it to a mixed number, you can, but you don't have to. But if you do, you say, oh, how many times does 4 go into 9? Well, 4 goes into 9 2 times. That's 8. So you have 1 left over out of the 4. 2 and 1/4. Either one is fine. But I like this one. That one's good. So let's simplify some expressions where division is involved. When there's variables involved in the expression. So here we have 32x minus 8. Oh my goodness, let's have a look. Now it looks a little complicated, but bear with me. Let's do it step by step, okay? So 32x minus 8 divided by 4. So I'm going to rewrite it, 32x minus 8 divided by 4, right? Okay, so that's the same thing as 32x minus 8 times 1/4. Because we made 4 into a fraction, I guess I could do that. 4 over 1, turn it into a fraction, it becomes 1/4. So we're multiplying by the reciprocal. Okay? Now, we are going to, now because this is a quantity, 32x minus 8 times 1/4, now I'm going to swap the order around because I can. It's multiplication. The commutative property of multiplication. Now, I'm going to multiply 1/4 times 32x. And that's, of course, I can't do that without putting a 1 under that. Okay, now I multiply straight across. 1 times 32 is 32. And 4 times 1 is 4. X. Okay, and then multiply 1/4 times 8, put the minus sign there. 1 times 8 is 8, and 4 times, got to have a 1 under that. And 4 times 1 is 4. All right, so now 32x over 4 minus 8 over 4. All right, 32 divided by 4 is 8. So that's 8x minus 8 divided by 4 is 2. And we have simplified that expression. That wasn't too awful, right? Not too bad. Step by step. All right, let's look at this one. Now this one's interesting too. And we're going to run over just a bit. 42t over negative 14u divided by negative 6 over 7t. So we're going to do step by step here. we're going to change this to multiplying by the reciprocal. So 42t over negative 14u multiplied by the reciprocal. So we just flip this fraction. 7t goes on top, negative 6 on the bottom. Okay? And now we just multiply straight across. 42t times 7t. What is 42 times 7? 294. T squared, because we're multiplying t and t, okay? And negative 14u times negative 6. Well, 14 times 6 is 84. And there's only one u there, so it just stays a u. And negative times negative is positive, so we're all good. That's where we're at. Unless, of course, we wanted to simplify the top and bottom by dividing, so we can do that. So if we divide 294 by 84, the fraction comes out as 7 over 2. So this will be 7t squared over 2u, and that is simplified. But it's okay if you want to keep it here. But that's where we're at. Here are the practice problems for dividing. I'll shrink that down for you. All right. Lesson 2.7 practice. Give it your best shot. Remember, you can't win if you don't try. Go as hard as you can. I'll see you next time. Don't forget to be awesome.